I am Dr. Mads Gilbert from Norway on an emergency medical mission to Gaza, waiting to be allowed in through Rafah in Cairo. At 5 minutes past 5 Gaza time this afternoon, a convoy that was going to transport injured patients in well-marked ambulances from Shifa Hospital to Rafah in the south of Gaza was attacked by the Israeli occupation forces. As they had left the gates of Shifa, they were bombed. One paramedic and one driver was injured, the paramedic severely. The convoy decided to turn around to go back to Shifa, and once they arrived at the gates of Shifa, they were bombed again. The last number is 13 killed and 62 injured. This convoy was a planned convoy with injured patients who were going to be transported. It was informed to the ICRC, according to my information. They were expecting to have escort from the ICRC. That did, however, not arrive. So they left the hospital and was, as I say, attacked twice. This is a flagrant violation of international law. It is another example of the total disregard that the Israeli army has for the common rules of law, that you should protect civilians and that marked ambulances for which you have got information should be protected. And there is one more important thing. Israeli commanders have for the last 2 weeks been threatening, been calling, been urging, commanding the hospital leaders in all the hospitals in northern Gaza to empty the hospital for patients and staff because they were going to bomb them. The hospital leadership and the doctors, paramedics, nurses in the hospital, they have refused to do this because they have been fearful of the security and safety of their patients. Now, when they start to evacuate, and they do coordinate, and these are marked public ambulances with international symbols of an ambulance, what happens? They are being bombarded by the Israeli army, not once, but twice, on their way out to what the Israelis have said is a safe haven in the south of Gaza. This is so merciless and so brutal that I would ask Secretary of State Blinken, who is now in Israel, you have been backpadding these attacks on the civilians for weeks now. Where is the red line? Is there any red line to the killings of civilians, children, adult patients, health personnel, bombing hospitals? So far, we have reached more than 9,000 killed. At least 4,000 of them are children. And now you are watching the Israeli army bombing convoys of ambulances. This is the responsibility of the U.S. government, President Joe Biden, and Mr. Blinken. You have allowed this to happen. You don't have blood on your hands. You are soaked in blood. I am Dr. Mads Gilbert from Norway on an